Check, check. Hello. Hello, everybody. What's going on out there? Rebel Advocates again. What's going on? Who's here? Is anybody here with me?
Yeah, what's happening, guys?
Who's that? Artie, what's going on, sir?
All good, man. How you been?
Oh, enjoying the lovely weather.
A fantastic British summertime at its best.
There you go, there you go. Who else is there? Anybody else?
Yo, what's going on?
Man like Johnny in the building, wagwan.
Damn, man, you good?
Can't complain, old chap yourself.
Same old, same old.
All right. We're gonna jump it off today. Oh, what shall we go? Shall we go with the football first, yeah? Or with no
Yeah,
with
go on,
yeah,
go on.
yeah, let's go with the money over morals. What's going on there? You know about this what was it? Missed that Liverpool guy. He changed his tune, innit? Did any of you know what is exactly his stance on something? Because he was supposed to be standing for something. Because a lot of people are complaining about this guy, innit? Saying that he's turned his coat or something. Do you know anything about that, Johnny?
Oh, Jordan Henderson.
Mm mm mm.
Oh yeah, because basically he's a campaigner or whatever. He sticks up for the LGBTQPRST community, and and he was basically he stands up for their rights and talks to them and stuff, and he's the one that advocates certain things. So obviously, when the World Cup was in Qatar near the end of last year, he did talk up and say he doesn't agree with certain things, like because obviously there's certain political things in Qatar that they don't agree with certain things. So obviously, and Saudi and Qatar and all those countries over that side of the world. So obviously now it's come up. It came up a couple of weeks ago that Steven Gerrard did become a manager over in Saudi, innit? And he did say a month ago that they came in for him, but he wouldn't be taking the job, but he took it. And then a couple of weeks ago, he's obviously wanted to bring in his old mate, Jordan Henderson, said they'll pay him 700 grand a week on a 3-year deal because he's 33 years old now, so get a 3-year deal. And LBGTQPRST community were basically saying if he goes out there, he's basically disrespecting us and saying you must choose like basically your principles over money. And obviously now he's taken the pictures, he's got out there, he signed for them, and now they're all dissing him now, saying, well, you let us down. How we gonna come watch you? How we gonna watch you come play over there? Because over there, if you become one of them type of people there, it could be the death penalty out there, innit? So they're saying, how can we come out and watch you if we want to come and watch you play? And yeah, they're basically just dissed him off now, innit? And an ex-player that played for Villa, hit Salzburg or whatever, he basically did an interview the other day and said he's disappointed in Henderson and he wants to interview him, and said he's picked money over principles and he hopes that the money makes him happy, and just enough stuff like that, innit? The whole community's just turned against him now and saying we'd like to see if he'll wear the rainbow laces over there, but I don't think he will, because I don't think he's going to want to face the death penalty over these people, innit? So yeah, it's all political right now, innit? So, and a few commentators and football experts have turned against him as well and said he's basically chose money over principles. But no one was complaining when they went to work over in Qatar for the World Cup, innit? You had people talking their little bits, but they still went and took the money, innit? So it's all mad. But to me, I don't think he's done anything wrong. Like, he chose the money just because he's not going to be able to. Well, it'll be interesting to see if he speaks up against it over there. But I don't think he will. I just think he'll just keep his mouth shut, earn his money, and then come back over in 3 years. But yeah, that's what's going on.
All right. Well, Johnny, Johnny, Artie, what you got? You got anything to add to that?
I think the whole thing, like you said, it's all about kind of this kind of morals over money and stuff. I think my point is that he made such a big issue to start wearing the armband and doing that in the first place. And he's not the only one, but a lot of people have went over there, like you said, prior to the World Cup, and they spoke out about it, but they still went over there and earned their money. But yeah, I suppose that's the thing that would probably irk those people the most, is that he was all, I wouldn't say at the front, but you know what I mean? He's like a big figure over here in sort of the British game. He was rocking the armband and that. So by him taking the money, they probably feel that obviously he's let them down and stuff, which I understand, but it's a short career, and in a way he's entitled to do whatever he wants. And in regards to morals in football, there isn't really any, because clubs have had players who have bashed up their partners before or done certain things, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, I can understand from their point of view, but he's just looking out for himself at the end of the day, innit?
So what? Do you think he shouldn't have jumped up in the first place if you don't believe it, right? You're supposed to, if you jump on something that you believe in, you're supposed to run with that till the end, right?
100%. I agree with you, 100%. But that's the thing. That's why he's facing the criticism now, isn't it? Because he sort of stood up for it over here, and now he's just gone and took the dough, which is fair enough. But like Johnny says, if he's that strong on his principle, is he going to go out there and say or speak out about it, or even, like you said, wear the rainbow laces? Very questionable. I doubt it very much. I suppose so. That's the thing that's probably cheesed him off the most, isn't it? That he was the front of it over here and sort of speaking out against it. But he's went out there. But it's like, who isn't going out there now? You know what I mean? Who isn't going out there? And it's a short career. And yeah, they might think he's being a bit of a hypocrite, but you know, I'm sure he ain't going to be the last to go out there and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And wasn't like, do you remember with the problems with the Sky Sports and all that stuff, with them commentators that used to do Sky Sports in it, and then they went out to their own.
Yeah, the two
they kind of done
guys.
the same thing, didn't they? Right? What do you think?
And where did they go? They went out. Who were they for? Were they out in Bean Sports or somewhere, weren't they, for them? Or
Yeah.
They broadcast for them now, because they were deemed to say something that was a little bit sexist on there to the female referee or something. I can't remember the whole scandal. But they went out there and worked and stuff. But yeah, it's just it is what it is now. But there's always, like you said, there's been footballers doing mad stuff and beating up their partners and stuff, and clubs just readily bring them back and sort of behaving like an idiot, you know what I mean? But all these guys have been criticised for going over there taking the money. But like you said, the ones, if they were in their shoes, I think a lot of them would do the same, but they're profiling like they wouldn't.
Listen. What? All right. What about this, right? Because look, you said it. You said about beating up your partners and all that, right?
Mm.
What if you, as a normal person, right, beats up your partner? Should you lose your job because of that?
Good point, isn't it? Should you lose your job?
I don't think so.
But you'd probably be. There's a chance, in it. You'd probably get arrested and stuff. You know what I mean? And then depending on where you work, if it was don't know what the situation was. You know what I mean? But if it was a reoccurring thing, then you'd lose your employment, I think. But it'd be very hard.
Really?
You know what I mean, to sort of keep the job down.
Really? Do you think
if it was us? I think if it was us, if it was the smaller man doing it.
So what are you saying? It depends. What if you was like a big CEO of some company, or like CEO of something like UFC, for example, hitting your wife? Yeah, should you lose your job because it didn't really happen, did it? When this person hit his wife and it was all on the do they like to make the thingy the example of the smaller man? Because you know the football is always the quote unquote working man sport, innit? It's the working man sport. So then, don't they always trying to make an example of these guys? What do you think, guys?
Mm-hmm. What I mean in terms of like you know the smaller man, because I think when these guys, you know, some of the footballers that we've had in the past and some of their behaviour, like you said, bashing up their partners and stuff, nothing really happens in it, and the drinking and everything else that went hand in hand with it.
Yeah, that was old school, definitely old school stuff.
I just think if it was us at our level and our employees, I know, you know what I mean, I think they would come down on us much harder. If it broke out, you know what I mean?
Johnny?
I think they would brush it under the carpet.
Sorry, go on, Johnny.
I say, yeah, no, because obviously when you're profiled like these high earners, it's like they make it like they're more likely, to me, they're more likely to get away with these things, isn't it? Because you see, what's his name? My man, the old Welsh manager. Obviously, there was the thing with him and his missus or whatever, and that got thrown out the other day, innit? And it's like, if that was someone like me, you, or Artie, it's like they're more likely come down on us more and make more of an example out of us. When you got these people, they got the big money. They probably pay off the judge and all them thing anyway. So, but they're probably likely, yeah. I mean, they got more money to flex with and pay off certain people and certain things. So it's a bit crazy still. But when you mentioned, just to go back on the thing when you said about if you think you should lose your job, I think that's more for like the courts to decide, really. And it depends what type of line of work you're in. If it's anything to maybe, if you're working with vulnerable people, then maybe, yeah. But if it's like a warehouse job, or you're working for like a supermarket or a big chain, maybe not in it, but depends, in it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's a mad one, to be honest. I think it's, I mean, me personally, I think that's got nothing to do with it, right? It's got nothing to do with the job, whether you're earning a lot of money or you're earning no money at all. It's got nothing to, as long as you're doing the job, right? I would have think.
True.
As long as you're doing the job, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just depends, isn't it? Like man said, maybe what job you're doing might have some sort of relevance. But generally, I suppose if you're doing your job all right, but like you said earlier on, sort of people in big high profile sort of positions, sort of CEOs of companies and stuff, you feel sort of those sort of individuals, they're more liable to sort of get away with that sort of behaviour, you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, totally, not laughing. But yes, I mean, I know Johnny just said it, if you're working with young people or stuff like that, right? Isn't it?
Or vulnerable, yeah.
Vulnerable people, yeah, totally. That's a different thing. But these people are not vulnerable, are they? And these are not working with young people or vulnerable people. These people are working with normal people, right? Footballers, okay, for example, footballers, from the footballer up to the chairman and all that stuff. Then you got that man. Do you remember the man that slapped his wife in front of the cameras and nobody didn't say nothing about it, innit? Do you remember?
Which one?
The man that runs the UFC thing. That, remember, he slapped his wife in front of the cameras and nobody said nothing about it. Nobody said nothing. And then somebody else slapped his wife.
That's all being swept under the carpet.
And then it was a black man, innit, that slapped his wife, and then all hell, everybody wants to take him to court and dip in his pockets and all that stuff. Also, we know what that's about.
Yeah, that's a mad one, techie one still, but yeah, it's blatant, isn't it? It's there in front of your face. You don't even have, it's just there. It's basically showing you that UFC man done it blatantly. It's cool. But as soon as, like I said, the black man does it, it's all hell breaks loose.
Who
So,
who remembers the Stan Collymore thing? Do you remember that? I know probably Artie, you remember that. Do you remember that, Johnny?
no,
Do you
no,
remember
what
that?
happened with him?
Yeah,
Go on, tell
Stanley
us
with
about it,
thingy, with
Artie.
Eureka and that.
Go on.
It's a sad, he was just profiled in it in the papers. Like, I mean, they clearly had quite a toxic relationship. It seems so anyway, the way it was portrayed, you know what I mean? And then he's been portrayed as sort of this kind of, I don't know, domestic abuser. And I'm not saying he didn't do anything to her, you know what I mean? I think he might well have done, but at the end of the day, sort of the profile and the stigma's just kind of stayed with him over time. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was
So
tough,
is
man.
is that why he's on no platforms no more because of that?
Probably, yeah.
Possibly.
I suppose he's quite outspoken and, you know what I mean, on certain things as well, isn't it?
Because I remember him being on a lot of platforms, and it's like now you hardly hear about it. It's like he's just disappeared. So I remember when he was with her, but I didn't know about that situation. But it makes sense now because he is very out. I remember he is a very outspoken, and he doesn't really care who you're in it. He'll just talk his shit in it. So yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, so they had a bad relationship, and there was apparently a lot of violence and stuff. And then whatever, they split up, and he went and done his own thing. And then, but it feels like since then he's just been labelled as that. And I've heard him talk openly about it a few times. You know what I mean?
Did they ever say why? Was it drugs or alcohol? Was that
I don't think so. I mean, I think he used to drink a bit. You know what I mean? I think sort of a lot of footballers, especially those times, isn't it? 80s, 90s, up to certain late 90s. They were still doing that a lot, innit? The drinking culture. So maybe, innit, that had an influence on him. But you still got to take some responsibility yourself. But he's quite open with it. Like, you can listen to a couple of interviews he's done. I mean, about it and stuff. And you know what I mean? I mean, not that it makes it right, but if you listen to what he says about it as well, you know what I mean? It's not open and shut just to criticise the guy and kill him, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? I'm going to do my research still because he's someone that I used to like listening to, innit? Because to me, a lot of people, he's like Marmite, innit? It's like you hate him or you like him, innit? But to me, he used to talk a lot of sense, but it's like what you said, a lot of people didn't like him because of how vocal he was with it, innit? So they tried to turn him down. I remember he had a slot on the certain radio channels, but we're not going to mention their names. And it's like, they used to always say, oh, you can't say that. And he's like, I can talk how I want. This is my slot. I'll say what I want in it. And it's like, a lot of people didn't like it in it. But yeah, that is a bit mad, him and the woman that you're talking about. But they proper castrated him in it because it's like, now, like you said, he's just gone. It's like no one doesn't really want to employ him no more. It's crazy, man.
Listen, would it be? What do you guys think? Would it be the same? Would they have got the same kind of publicity or public shunning, if it was an Ulrika Johnson? What do you think about that? If it was another woman? Because I mean, look, we know about Ulrika Johnson, right? You know what I'm saying? We all know about her. She, you know, I'm not justifying any behavior or anything, but we know about, you know, she's been around the block a few times, innit? Right?
Eureka, yeah, we remember.
I mean, it's true what you say. Probably she was a lower profile person, or just sort of an average.
She was with Sven, wasn't she? She slept
lady.
Around with Sven.
He might not have got sort of slaughtered as much, you know what I mean? But knowing the press in those times, innit, and how the press operates and stuff, they're always looking to bust a story, innit? So, you know what I mean, and pay someone a change as well.
I'm really trying to contemplate that, what you just said. It's like I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking maybe not, but I'm thinking it's that's a techie one, because I'm trying to think if it wasn't her, or maybe because of his profile and his ethnicity, could it just have been a random girl, or is it? I don't know, because she is like a very loved person in the public eye, isn't it? So
100%, and you know, blonde hair, blue eyes. Come on, man, this is the darling of society, and then, do you know what I'm saying? The darling of society, and then she gets with this horrible man. You know what I'm saying? He was all right until he got with her, innit? Right? He was all right until that, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I think
Do you know
those
what it is?
times,
Because I don't remember all of that. To me, he's always been all right, innit? So, but obviously, I didn't know about that scenario. So it's like, to me, it never went. Obviously, something did go wrong for him. So maybe it was meeting her, and maybe she was not conducting herself in the way that he wanted. I mean, it's a bit mad, but maybe it is because it was her, innit? Maybe if it was her, or think of her next one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a dodgy one there. What are we saying? Like, you know, because look, do we put footballers? Do we put them in some kind of category where they're untouched? Because people don't understand that they're just normal people, innit? They're not no special. Just because they can kick the ball, or they've been kicking the ball all their life, and they didn't bother invest in anything else apart from that. You're guaranteed to be good if that's all you've been doing since 6 years old. Do you understand? But do we look at them unrealistically? Because look, as soon as they, you know, you got Merce. Remember Merson? Yeah, pissed all his money down the thingy. You got Gascoigne, Best,
Razor Ruddock.
Razor. You got a lot of people there that fall down the side from being the good spot, and so do we look at them in the wrong? And we look at them wrong totally, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe some of us have sort of false expectations of what we expect or perceive that they can be and stuff. Because, like you said, that maybe some of them, rightfully or wrongly, that's all they've done all their life. So they've not invested any other time in doing other stuff. So that's all they know, just football. So they'll just say, yeah, I'll do that, kind of whatever. So yeah, I think we sort of think, oh, you know, I mean, they should have all these kind of set of morals and do the right thing all the time and do it and do that. But it's not, in it. Football's a cutthroat business, and if the dollar's there, they're going to take it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think most of the fans, you know what I mean, who get sort of bitter about this stuff, they're like, you know, they hate him or he's a rat, or, you know, when you hear all that talk, you think, cool, because, you know, as I said before, if he was in that situation, probably do the same thing. Not guaranteed, but probably, you know what I
mean? Yeah. But anyway, listen, bottom line here, let's get a bottom line on this. We're on 30 minutes in. Bottom line on this, right? Don't back for something if you don't gonna run for it all the way. Yeah, if you're just doing it for show, then you're gonna get shown up, ain't you?
100%, mate. 100%. If you say you're gonna do it, go with it, stick with it. You know what I mean? And that's your thing. Fair play to you. But if you're gonna try run with it and then sort of duck out and go where the dollar is, and you know what the repercussions are going to be, so no.
Nah, it's real still. No half-hearted thing, man. If you're gonna do it fully and do it properly, man.
And it doesn't matter who you are. No violence against women. We're not we're definitely against all that. Yeah, you know, we're just debating. All right. So let's move on. Let's go on to let's go on to this man behind the door for 17 years. Yeah. Did any of you guys hear about this guy who was put in prison for rape, right?
Yeah, rape and like an attempted murder as
did
well.
You do it? Check it. Go on, tell us, Artie, go on.
Yeah, so he was convicted of rape, and I think after he got kind of put away, they added another charge on it, kind of half-heartedly, but he was convicted because he was picked out in an identity parade. But none of the characteristics of the rapist was anything like him. I mean, apart from the fact that they were both white, that's about it, you know what I mean? When you see the E-fit, everything, the guy had tattoos, the rapist didn't, you know what I mean? There's endless amounts of stuff. But sadly, he was picked out in the identity parade, and he went to court and he was tried, and he got convicted. He got a 7-year sentence. He served his 7 years. And then they basically gave him an ultimatum to say either admit your guilt to it, because he pleaded not guilty, or we'll give you another 10 years. And so he said, not guilty, I'm going to protest my innocence. So he wrote out another 10 years. And just new DNA and evidence has come out just recently. So, yeah, he's just been out, really. And, yeah, so he just spent sort of a large portion of his life in prison for a crime he didn't fucking commit. And now it's a case of what are they going to give him as compensation, you know what I mean? Which it should be a lot.
That sounds crazy. Johnny, what do you think about that? Especially that extra 10 years thing, that just sounds nuts. What's all that about?
Yeah, bro,
I've never heard of that before, to be honest. I know you can get a couple of little 2 and 3 and stuff, but I've never heard of 10 extra years. What?
Yeah, serious. I mean, I sort of questioned it when I heard it, but that's how the case is run. Basically, it was rape for the first, and then it was like, I think they said something like attempted strangulation or something. So they was going to do something. If he admitted his guilt, it would come out after the 7. Yeah. If he didn't admit his guilt, he'd have to ride out the 17. So he never admitted his guilt because he didn't do it. He didn't do it. It's just a fit up job. It's just trying to get someone in there. But it's the shocking thing. That's sort of 17 years now. But yeah, like I said, you have to watch your space for some compensation.
Listen though, right? Hold on, sorry. Wasn't it what did he get? 17 was the first or something. That was the first sentence he got, and he could have reduced it. Is that the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he basically said you can come out after 7.
All right, makes sense. It makes sense. Yes.
If you admit your guilt, and he didn't want to admit his guilt because he didn't do the crime.
No, totally.
So they put that extra 10 on him.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to just do the whole of the sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it basically in a
nutshell. Hey, listen.
All right. I'm gonna try and put myself in that situation. Yeah. You said basically, you do the 7. We're gonna give you 7 for something that I know I haven't done, but I've got to prove that I haven't done it. And then you're trying to give me a plea bargain basically and say, admit that you've done it and we'll let you go after the 7. But if you don't admit that you've done it, we're going to give you extra 10 years. So you're going to have to do 17. Brother, like, I don't even know how to even try and break that down because it's like, I feel bad for the women that these things have happened to, innit? But this isn't that case, innit? This is something where the man didn't do it, and it's like, you've done that time. And even money, compensate, like, what is he? It doesn't matter. Well, it's not. Is he still, what age is he now?
I think he's about 60 now, I think.
Nah. See all of that. Nah, you're like, bro, that, see it there, bro.
But either way, it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And you know what they're trying to offer him? They said $1 million, they said.
Bro, you need to be giving me the keys to the city, bad man, because that bad man, it's like, they think, that's what I'm saying about this country. Everything's compensation. Bro, if they would have done the right thing in the first place, boom, they would have found, all right, cool, there's nothing to convict this man, let him go. But it's, to me, I don't know what type of profile this man had, or if he was just a normal civilian, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I feel bad for, I don't normally feel bad for people like that, but I actually feel bad for him because you're like that age now, so you went in at a nice, reasonable age, and now your life's just, that makes fucked.
Well, he's 57,
people can
just
do that to your life like that. It's fucked.
The guy's 57 now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so yeah.
So he went in when he was 40. That's when they say that's when life begins.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
my God.
Artie, what about the other thing that he done? Was there anything about the other thing? You said it was the rape and it was something else, isn't it?
What, with the lady in what was it, Manchester?
No. This is The same man, didn't you say he was behind? Didn't you said he got questioned? Are you saying that was the only thing? That was the only charge for this?
Yeah,
Andrew
it was
Malik
rape.
Say
But when I
something
heard about,
strangling or something.
yeah, they was trying to say it was sort of rape with sort of intent to almost kill. You know what I mean? But he was like, I can't remember. He went to, I don't think he went to the lineup voluntarily, but he went there. He had no expectation of being picked out there at all. You know what I mean? And he said he couldn't believe it when he was picked out. He just dropped to his knees. He said, you know what I mean? Couldn't believe it. And if you see the e-fit of the guy that they say was the actual rapist and him, there's no way that it's that guy and his other stuff. Like,
Wait there. So you're telling me this isn't even wait there? The guy there. It's a complete misidentification.
100%, John. 100%.
No, bruv, wait there, bruv. Bro, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
It's funny that we could just roll into the other one and we can just go in and out, because it's the same Greater Manchester Police is for this one, and it's for the next one as well about the other thing we're going to talk about. It's the same people. I just realised that, you know, something's wrong with that Greater Manchester. Something in the water up there or something.
It's terrible though, isn't it? It's like all of them. It's disgusting. That's
so what?
I mean, as I said, we know about the Met, but obviously this is bringing them in some disgusting like that.
So what do you think? You guys, what do you think? Do you think you should get compensation? Because I was just looking at some of these other silly places, and they were disputing should he get it, and he should or shouldn't get it. I mean, shit. Straight, right? What do you think, Johnny?
What, comp?
Bit of compo. What do you think?
Yeah, comp and something needs to happen to the obviously the comp, yeah, that is well, because you're not going to get the time back you spent in there. That's impossible. But comp, yeah, and then everyone that was involved in sending me down, something has to happen to them.
Of course, 100%. Like when they've offered him $1 million, that should be $1 million a year, mate. That should be 100%. $1 million a year.
Listen,
never mind anything else.
But we all know they're not going to do that. But it should be that. But
listen,
so
and then
the one, go on.
Listen,
sorry, John. Yeah, it just makes you think, though, innit? If this is just him one, and there's obviously other madness that's going on with this Greater Manchester Police. Imagine how many other men has been banged away up there for nothing. You know what I mean? No. They don't work, mate. They don't work. Apologies.
Yeah. No, that's nuts. That's nuts.
So have they said anything about the woman that obviously? Is there been anything said about her?
I mean, come on. What do you think? Of course not. They're gonna say nothing about the woman, innit? What did she pick this? She picked him out, innit? Or pressured to pick him out.
She picked him out, but I mean, who knows whether or not she was coerced into it for some reason? But yeah, she did pick him out, and that's where it lied, really. But then there's no other similarities that he had that were the same. You know what I mean? So it's kind of yeah. So I don't know what he's going to get, but he needs to get a lot. But he can't get what he's already lost, which is at least probably maybe a third or quarter of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and who's to say he wasn't going to be a multi-billionaire? He might have designed some new computer technology or something in it before that time.
Loss of earnings, mate. 20 years.
That is, and think that's so messed up. That could happen to any of us. That's how messed up the thing is.
Listen, and
yeah, I think it comes down to things like obviously there's major level corruption, clearance rates, and all that stuff in it. Racism comes into it. Obviously, but this geezer was white, to be fair. So
that's what I'm saying. But It doesn't say that there's not. I'm not saying it's right, but maybe he had a high profile. Maybe there was more to it. But even though I'm not saying it's right, it's wrong what's happened to him. But to me, it's like you said, there was some corruption. Maybe he had some holdover. Maybe he had his profile on it.
I don't know. Is he really white? Yeah, because I'm looking at another picture here where when he was younger, and he's got braids in his hair. He looked like he could be mixed race, you know, or something. He doesn't look like he's white, you know, because there's an old picture. I don't know. You guys go and Google it and something. And he looks old here, but that looks like
he could have it in his family. Yeah, what was his name? His name was thing, you know. It was Andrew Malkinson.
Andrew what?
Andrew Malkinson.
Malkin.
Yeah, that's the name, Malkinson.
Oh, let me.
Ain't it, Malkinson?
Oh, that's another one. But listen, that just shows. No, this is something else. This is something else. But you know what, right? Do you remember, Johnny? You was on holiday, right? And
Go on.
there was enough people that was there on that thing as well, innit? There that they shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean?
You're right. You know.
There was enough people. So not to say this is something that they don't always talk about, right? This is something there's a lot of it going on. And even though behind the door you hear the talk, everybody's innocent and all that, there's a few people that should not be there. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Yeah, anyway, well, give him his compo, yeah, and send him on his way. Let him live out the rest of his time having fun or whatever he wants to do, no?
Exactly, yeah, he should. He should get good 100%. Money and sort of hopefully live the rest, like you said, with a little bit of peace, you know what I mean, and a bit of dignity. At least he didn't have to die in there, but that's kind of nothing. Should have been
but the worst thing is as well, obviously he's glad that I should hope he's glad that he's outside now, but them thing there on that holiday, he must have went through some shit in there.
Especially on that charge. Especially on that charge as well. You understand? No, but it ain't light in there on that charge.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
no
of course.
matter how you're trying to explain, like, it wasn't me. They're like, yeah, everyone says that. Boom! Bang him straight away. You get me? Stop talking, innit? Like, bad man. Jeez, man.
Disgusting. And this Greater Manchester police, I don't know what's wrong with these guys, but they even stripped this woman, innit? What's all this? And what was it? I don't know about if it was a rape or something. I'm not sure if it was a rape or nothing, but they definitely stripped the woman and left her in there, took her clothes off. What's all that about? Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Artie?
Yeah.
Fill us in, sir.
100%. And you know, it's weird, even worse, is that there's been like 3 separate complaints from kind of women there. So basically they came to her house. There was a welfare call saying there was someone at their house that was really high and stuff. So when they got there, it sort of established that she was high on cocaine, apparently. I've seen the video footage because they had their GoPros on then. But yeah, it's all great. After that, it just gets mad because then they take her from her house, put her in the van, and it's like, it's only supposed to be 10 minutes from her house to the police station, and it took them, I think, an hour and a half. And officers were seen going in the back of the van. And then they eventually got her to the station. She'd passed out by then. And she was laid in a cell, basically sort of semi-naked. And then her clothes were taken off her. And then it is so weird because there's lapses in the CCTV. She was basically in there for 40 hours. But they don't have evidence for every hour there. And she's saying that she was date raped, you know, given like a date rape drug, and the police officers raped her. And apparently there's actually medical evidence that you know, I mean, something's happened to her sexually from that point. So yeah, it's ongoing at the moment, isn't it? And she's challenging them to give them obviously all of the footage, and they haven't done it yet.
Jesus Christ,
Johnny.
And these are the same man. These are the same Manchester people, yeah. Bloody hell, bruv. Bruv, This thing is just this. What's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, that's the next type of. That's what I'm saying, man. If it, like you said, it's proven that something happened to her.
It's proven, mate.
Oh, what? And these are people that we're supposed to trust as they're looking to protect us and they're doing these. Bro. God, man. So
it's ongoing now. It's still ongoing now, and there's another couple of women who have had issues in regards to being sort of taking themselves in there and strip searched, randomly strip searched, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's disgusting behaviour going on down there.
What about
these people actually? Go on.
What about these other women? What are they? Are they ethnic or what?
The first one is so the main woman who's putting this case against them and challenging them, she's ethnic. I think she's of Arab descent. I think the other two are English, but I haven't seen a picture of them. They sound English. But the other one's quite interesting because she was going to the police because she was having issues with someone abusing her. And then it turns out that they've sort of half semi-abused her and put her in a cell and strip searched her for really no apparent reason, you know what I mean? But in typical police fashion, they're all just put in rank and, you know what I mean? Because because they're asking, obviously, for the CCTV because there's massive gaps in it, like 2-hour gaps in the seat, and there shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like from herself. You know what I mean? She was in there for 40 hours total, which is mad. Mad because they said she wasn't fit to be detained anyway.
Yeah, listen, so what about the why did they strip her? Why did they strip this woman, the first woman?
They didn't really give any argument for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
and then they put her in these shorts, in it, like these pair of sort of half shorts things, you know, and that's the thing. It's so uncertain because you don't have all the footage. So by you not having all the footage, for me, is an admission of guilt. Because if you have the footage and you've got nothing to hide, you'd free up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I just want to know why did they strip search the woman? Because it's not that, it wasn't like any kind of thing.
They're just saying it's a pervert thing. That's what the other women are saying. They're like, they've got a bad reputation for this, right? You know what I mean?
So what's the strip searching about? Not sure about that one. Either way, anyway, it's disgusting behaviour from the police, right? All of them police doing the stuff like that. You know, it's just another thing again for us to look at and say, all right, these are supposed to be the people that we trust, yeah? And they're not doing that, you know? And they're getting a high wage, yeah? And it goes up every year, innit? $1,000 a year the police they get every year. How long they do it. And this is the behavior that they're doing.
They're scumbags, a lot of these guys.
Down,
like they said, it was 10 minutes. 10 minutes from the yard to the station, and it took them an hour and a half. An hour and a half, mate. So yeah, that's got a lot to run with, that one. Just watch that space, and I think a lot more touchwood is going to come out and expose these guys, you know what I mean?
Jeez, man.
But yeah, I think with the other two women, they put complaints in and they were just poo-pooing them and saying they've got nothing to answer for. And with this one, like they said, it's ongoing and there's some back and forth going. But it's been handed over and they've been basically told that they have to provide the CCTV, but, you know, how long's a piece of string?
All right, what about, look, we got this thing, remember the girl, Sarah, down there, something happened to this crazy man, yeah?
Yeah.
We got these two circumstances here, GMP. How do we recruit the right people? Is there anything that should be done differently, you think, guys?
I think you've got to break the whole infrastructure, innit, whether it's Manchester or the Met has to come breaking it down. We've had a couple about this, haven't we, where we've said there's been so many different commissioners in the Met changing hands. nothing changes, does it? It's just the same old stuff. So I think it's the infrastructure that's got to all go. You've got to scrape it. You've got to break it all down and start again. And hopefully get some real people involved here, because at the moment it's just failing, isn't it? And it's continued to fail. That's the only way. I don't know what you other guys think.
But I thought, like, all right, you said with this woman, sorry, yeah. Why was not women officers sent to that whole scenario? I don't get it.
It was
yeah,
women,
there was a women officer.
It was women
there.
that strip searched her. I know that much, innit? They did say that. But
Yeah, there was a female officer there, right? And that's it. And she was there present with a strip search, and apparently she pulled her glasses off initially. That's what the argument started. She pulled her glasses off, and then they took her in because she was unstable. You know, after they got this welfare call. Yeah. So, but it's funny how there was GoPro footage there, and there's no GoPro footage for the next hour and change that it took you to get from a 10-minute journey to the police station. Shambles.
How can we change this whole thing? But it come like you just have to bin the whole force. You get it? And I remember we did have a conversation a few weeks back, but I think that was about our own communities, about if we police our own communities and just bin off these people, bro, because what good is coming out of them?
Nothing. I don't see nothing positive coming out, really. It's just one negative story after another.
There is some good. There is some good. You get old ladies walking across the street. You get the police officer helping them, yeah? You get the cat in the tree, innit? The old cat in the tree trick. Come on, they're doing something, right?
Cat in the tree, innit? Yeah.
Get the old officer to get the cat out of the tree. They're doing something, right? Isn't they? That's enough, isn't it?
I mean, listen, all jokes aside, I believe there must be some decent police officers out there that do the right thing and believe in it, but it tests your whatever, your faith, your sanity, that there's just another story. And in fact, it's like they're getting worse. You know what I mean? The stuff that's breaking, it's disgusting stuff, you know what I mean?
All right, stop.
And it's so blatantly obvious.
Stop. You've had run-in with the police before?
Myself?
Have you had run-in with the police before?
Yeah, when I was much younger.
Doesn't matter when. Have you had run-in, yeah? Were they nice?
No.
That's your experience. Johnny, you had run-in with the police before?
A number, yeah.
Were they nice?
Never.
That's your experience. I've had run-in with them, yeah? They're not nice, yeah? I've sat down with them in offices, and you know what? And had debates with them, and you seem like they seem like really nice people. And then some of them, you think, hey, you know, I could be friends with that person, but you just realize that, you know what, they're police, and it's two different sides. Maybe they got a problem, you understand? Because they see you in front of the table in the office and talk to you then, and maybe they look at you as a different way as to seeing you on the street as a potential person who's going to commit a crime or something, or potentially
potential felon.
They treat you like that, yeah? No?
Exactly. There's a prejudged perception.
So it's some mindset that they have, maybe. What do you think?
That's real.
No, I agree with you. Exactly. They have the mindset, and I think the industry that they're in, it just reinforces that mindset, and it wants them to reinforce that mindset, and then we get to the situations that we're having now, innit? So that's why I thought, just break the whole thing down, and maybe, just maybe, things might change.
Yeah, well, anyway, big fat thumbs down losers for the GMP, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the rest, the Met as well. You know, it's a long thing they got to do. But they're not doing it. You know, you go back to all the things. Look, you're talking about the time limit. You remember? I used to live in Kidbrook with the Stephen Lawrence thing, and you used to live down there as well, innit, Artie? And you know how far that police station is from where this thing happened, and it's like
very
a 5
close,
minute. It's a stone throw, innit? It's a stone throw, and they took 20 years to get down there, and it's the same old stuff happening again, right? And you can't cover it up. You can't not look at it. But you know what? They ain't doing jack shit about it. But let's just leave that there. We've got 5 minutes. Let's go into some football, eh? What's going on with the football? Anything, any signings, anything like that? Anybody going to this Qatar place anymore? Any more money grabbers?
Mane's there.
Yeah, Mane's finalising now, isn't he?
4-year deal.
Yeah, Mane. Mahrez.
Where did Mane go? Did he go?
Mahrez.
Where did Mane go? Did he go to whose club? Anyone's club we know?
I think Mane's with. I think he's with Cristiano. You know.
That's naughty. That would be a naughty partnership. Him and Ronaldo.
Let me quickly. I think it's him and Ronaldo because I know at the next club they got sent Maximum on the left, Mahrez on the right, and Firmino through the middle at one next club. I think Mane. Yeah, I think Mane's with Cristiano. You know, I think they managed to make that happen. So I don't see.
Al Nassr, chaps. Al Nassr is the one he's off to.
Yeah, and I think that's Cristiano.
Yeah, that's right. He's playing alongside him.
Yes, Cristiano alongside Cristiano. His medical's done tomorrow. Yeah, 650. 4-year deal.
Right. What? Hold on. He's only getting 100 grand more than that. The Liverpool captain, that guy Henderson.
Less. 100 less.
He's getting 100 less than that guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is all that about?
Jordan's getting
Henderson's
7.
rubbish.
Yeah.
Henderson's way worse than this guy. Why is he getting more than him?
Yeah, don't make
Well,
sense.
we know.
We know what that's about, don't we?
Well, we don't.
Yeah. So now
It's
he's
a bit
off
weird,
there.
that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Another one gone out there.
Said Maximum, we talked about Mane.
Mahrez, didn't it? Just went out there.
Morris, Firmino's out there. Fabinho's got confirmed now from Liverpool. He's out there now. Who else? We know about your Benzimas and your Cristianos and Milinkovic, Savic, and they're all. Get me. What is it? I think my man's due to go out there. I think that Fulham are gonna let him go, innit? Mitrovic. I think they are gonna let him go.
Where did our old striker go? He was at Lyon. He's gone out there, isn't he? Dembele.
Dembele.
Where did he go? He's gone to a team out there.
He's gone to one of them. I don't know that. I know they all begin with Al, but you got so much Al. This Al.
He's at Gerrard's team, isn't he? Yeah, man. He's gone to Gerrard's team.
Oh, so it's going to be him and Henderson in that team. Okay.
Yeah, I must say teams are perking up those few man. You know what I mean? It might be worth a little watch. You know what I'm saying? Have a look.
Well, if I could put on my boots, I'll go and play out there. They're saying the third. You think it's joke? They're saying the third division out there will pay you at $5,000 a week out there in the third division. So
you best get out there, bruv. You bet. Listen, and I'm coming with you, bruv. What do you mean? Hey, and you, Artie, put on your goalkeeper gloves again, innit?
Yeah, just say I was a trialist for Leighton. I was a trialist for Leighton Orient. You know what I mean? I was a trialist. Yeah, I was 13 goalie.
$5,000 a week for third division. You know the quality ain't. Let me, bruv. I'll go.
I'm 24, mate. 24.
24 stone.
Let's go, innit? Exactly. But yeah, no, it's a lot. I'm sure there'll be a lot more going on out there, innit?
Yeah, of course. Because you didn't hear that Man City manager today saying it's a good thing for football what's going on over there. So doesn't it sound like someone's looking to leave Man City?
Oh, potentially filling his pockets again. The greedy.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. What about the women's football? Did you guys see the women's football today? The Germany. Did you see that?
They lost, innit? They lost, bruv.
2-1 to Colombia.
Yeah, they turned them over 2-1. I didn't see the highlights. Did any of you guys see the highlights?
I actually watched it.
I was watching it live, mate. Come on, it was one of them games. You see how much extra time they killed them with? 6 minutes, and they went down to 12, innit? 15 minutes, tried to help Germany to win the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They tried it, but look, they tried to teeth Colombia, but who scored in the end? Okay.
They got them, and they got them on set pieces where I never thought they were, because them Germans are tall, aren't they?
They're
But they were unorganized.
Butch.
Strong. Big and strong.
That was did you see how physical they were?
Yeah, listen, I was surprised that they got them on the. Anyway, good for Colombia. Anyway, yeah.
Yep.
And who
Good
else?
win.
Jamaica's doing all right, isn't they? They got a point.
Yeah,
they?
The Reggae Girls are doing well, mate. Might be going through to the knockouts, guys.
And they get back that Bunny Shaw in the last match because she was suspended because she got sent off in it against France. So she's back for the last match. So that Spence woman, she's all right, isn't it?
They got Brazil. Hopefully, you never know. Might knock out Brazil. That could be interesting.
Yeah, France did beat Brazil 2-1, isn't
it? So I think it's all close, that group. But yeah, they're unbeaten so far.
I didn't know that Spence woman. She got some. Tekka's the one that was at Chelsea and now she's at Tottenham. Spence for Jamaica. She's an all right player, man.
One, you like Spence, innit?
Yeah, or maybe but I didn't know she was a player like that because I've never seen her express herself on the football pitch. But she's a little playmaker, man.
Yeah, no, they've done well so far, and I think if they can get a draw, is it? A draw would see them through.
Who knows?
Yeah, because they won, innit? Yeah, so I think
they got 4 points so far.
Yeah, a draw against Brazil would send them through. Yeah, so I think Brazil have to. I think Brazil have to win, innit?
Because I saw the group. But yeah, that's it. Get a draw and you're through, man.
Did you see Nigeria the other day when they beat? Was it Australia?
No, I don't think so.
They beat them 3-1, I think. Nigeria beat Australia 3-1, I think it was.
I know there was one match, I can't remember who it was. There was a massive beatdown. Someone got beaten really badly.
Yeah, there was one today. There was like a
might have been Philippines or someone, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Norway did win 6-0 today against some team. And I'm like, see, that's smashing them up.
Yeah, I saw England's first games, or most of them, at least the highlights. Wasn't overly impressed.
And teacher was saying it the other day. Start the girl, and look, she started. She curled in the thing there. Teacher said it. Start the woman, man. But you're starting all these other women that can't do it. You only bought her. They brought her on the other day for muscle against Haiti, and now she started. She curled it in, but they're not really scoring freely, though, England. That's the one thing. Maybe they're going to peak, but they don't look like they're...
Not that good at the moment. Doesn't look... They're getting the results, but yeah, not playing that well, I don't think.
And that girl up front, that Russo girl, she doesn't really look all that. She looks a bit overweight as well, man.
Yeah. But like you said, they might come good later, innit?
But it's like what teacher said, though. Why don't you start the girl up front that scores hat-tricks for Aston Villa all the time, the Daily girl? Why don't you start her up front? She scores goals.
You know what, right? I don't know. They brought her on, I think, one time up front.
Yeah.
And she didn't really look good, you know. She looked like somebody that couldn't play up front. So I don't know whether she was getting lucky in the league.
In the league.
But the next match they played at the right back, didn't they?
So
yeah.
She done okay there. She was making a couple of mistakes there still, but it's not all perfect, isn't it? It's not all perfect. Anything else, guys?
No.
Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
No.
You want to see the boxing?
I did see the boxing.
Yes, the Crawford. Did you see it?
Yes.
Did you see it? He got taught. He got a lesson. He got lesson, didn't he?
He got punch up. He got masterclass. Yeah, he couldn't do nothing to him, innit? He was too predictable. He's way too good, innit? He's a class apart.
But he said he was going for the rematch clause, innit?
Yeah. Money, innit?
Yeah, but then man said he wants to go up to like middleweight now, innit? Terence said, innit? He wants to go up to like middle. He's done lightweight, he's conquered lightweight and welterweight, you know what I mean? He wants to go like middle and give that a go.
Why not? Why not?
Then that would be an amazing achievement to go through them 3 weights like that.
Undisputed if he can do it.
Fucking hell, if he can do that there.
Come on, he needs to do that. He's 35 years old now, so he just needs to just move it, get it moving now. Man.
Not long left, isn't it? Yeah, he can go probably light middle, have a few. There's some big fights up there in light middle as well, you know what I mean? So
100%. But I thought the other one would have showed more of himself still, but you know.
I think he's just like, he's very good at what he does, but he just can't just come forward to Crawford. He just predicted that straight away. Maybe the first round he done all right, Spence, half decent, and then after that he just found him out, mate, and just picked him off and just battered him slowly, innit? You know what I mean? But that's only Spence's first loss. He can come again, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But that car crash might have took something out of him. You never know, innit?
See it there.
But no, it was a top performance by Crawford. Saw a bit of that, a bit of UFC. If you haven't seen the UFC guys, go online. There's some funny knockouts there if that's the sort of thing.
Only thing I've seen is that someone got poked in their eye and they stopped it after 25 seconds or something. That's all I've seen.
I see man get another Leon Edwards out there, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, man got kick up. Knockout.
I'm gonna have to catch up on that.
Yeah, there's some funny ones on there as well. But yeah, that was worth a watch. Yes, a good watch of that. But yeah, that rounds it up, and then we got a bit of football coming next week, isn't it?
Charity Shield,
Charity
right?
Shield on Sunday.
Yeah, Championship League's off.
Arsenal,
we're off
Man
and
City
running next week.
Arsenal, Man City.
Yeah, Man City.
Yeah. Jeez,
Yeah, that's next week.
They're saying what? They're saying Bayern Munich's close to getting Kane, innit? They're saying Kane could be done in like a week or a couple of weeks, man.
Never know, innit? Maybe get rid of him now. Cash in while they can.
But they're saying Levy was supposed to go out to Germany, but he postponed it till tomorrow now to go out to talk to the president of Bayern Munich and get the deal over the line, innit? Because he's only got a year left, might as well cash in on him, man. And Arsenal's put in an offer for that David Raya, the Brentford keeper, in the last few hours.
Okay, that'll be a good buy. Good goalie.
He's got a year left on his contract, and the Brentford manager said, obviously we want 40 million for him, but we value him at 40, but anything near to that, we want for him, because he says he wants to leave, innit? He's already said, yeah, I don't want to stay here no more, I want to go somewhere and win stuff, so we'll see.
Wait, didn't we see? I saw that. What did they say? Jay-Z was going to potentially buy that thing, innit? Tottenham. If did you see that? Did you see that? If that guy gets convicted, what was the Tottenham man gets convicted of corruption? Remember this thing?
Oh, the geezer in America, innit? My guy in America.
He's the owner, actually. The owner, right? Innit? If he gets convicted, he's going to try and nick the club from him.
He owns the majority share of them, innit?
That'll be a something one. That'll be a different one, isn't it? Jay-Z running Tottenham. The wrong team to run, but you know, it is what it is, right? Anyway, nice one, guys. Let's wrap it up, mate. You know, nice one. Big up everything. Big up, listener, for all the comments. I didn't read them out, but thank you, listener.
Big up.
Yeah, guys.
Big up, man. Big up.
On a Wednesday, maybe, if we're lucky, but next week Sunday, yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, blessings.
All love.
Peace.
Laters.